connected in northeast Wisconsin. You are watching NBC 26 News at 5.
Right now at 5, crossing state lines to fill up. Find out where gas tank tourism is happening. Plus, billions to aid Ukraine, the latest from the war in Europe. And signed, sealed, and delivered. Aaron Rodgers signs the biggest contract in NFL history to stay in Green Bay. Your news starts now. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Nina Sperano. As we've recently seen a price of gas slightly decrease, it's where you get your gas that can also make a big difference. NBC 26's Kelsey Dickinson tells us why many people in Michigan are filling up in Wisconsin instead.
At this Marinette gas station, you can find vehicles with both Wisconsin and Michigan license plates filling up at the pump.
I live in Stevenson and I come down to Marinette every now and then to do my shopping. And I noticed there's a big price difference.
Iron Mountain, we were paying $5.49 for diesel and unleaded was $4.29 per gallon. So then I come down here and I see $3.98 for regular and diesel's $4.97, I think it was. So that's a big difference.
When looking at the cost of regular gas, data from GasBuddy.com shows that gas prices here in Marinette are about 20 to 25 cents cheaper than just across the border in Menominee. Experts with AAA attribute that to differences in taxes. Both states have a fixed gas tax. Wisconsin's is a little more than 3 cents more per gallon than Michigan. But unlike Wisconsin, Michigan applies its state sales tax to gas at a percentage of 6%, a cost people feel even more when prices are up.
Even under normal conditions, the gas prices in Wisconsin are a little bit lower than Michigan. And of course, you know, all we have is a river between us, so you're back and forth all the time.
Years ago, Michigan always had the cheaper gas prices, but more recently, Marinette's had the better gas prices, so kudos to them.
Finding ways to cut costs as prices remain high nationwide. In Marinette, Kelsey Dickinson, NBC 26.
Meanwhile, Green Bay area's only gas pipeline was shut down almost 6 years ago due to extensive and costly repair needs. Now lawmakers are attempting to bring it back. Republican State Senator Roger Roth of Appleton says he's reaching out to stakeholders of the former Green Bay West Shore pipeline, which was shut down in 2016.
The fact that all of Northeast Wisconsin has to truck its fuel and 1.2 million people relying on fuel being trucked in across Wisconsin, this is untenable. This is not a sustainable thing for our economic and energy security here in Northeast Wisconsin.
Northeast Wisconsin's closest gas distribution center is in Waupun. Roth says he had meetings with the Department of Energy and White House regarding the West Shore pipeline in Green Bay. We've reached out to Northeast Wisconsin Democrats for their perspective on the pipeline, but we haven't heard back yet. President Biden today signed a massive government funding bill, which includes close to $14 billion in emergency aid for Ukraine. As President Biden is headed to the region next week to meet with NATO allies, Congress is preparing for President Zelensky's address tomorrow morning. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
With the picture from Ukraine growing ever more desperate amid increasing Russian attacks on civilians, President Biden is planning a trip to Europe next week for a summit with NATO allies on responding to the crisis. The president today signing a massive budget bill that includes close to $14 billion in humanitarian and defense assistance for Ukraine.
We're going to be able to quickly ramp up our response and help alleviate the suffering that Putin's war is causing.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appealing directly to Canada's parliament.
You all need to do more to stop Russia, to protect Ukraine.
Tomorrow, he'll address the U.S. Congress, expected to push forcefully for a no-fly zone to cut off air attacks and for help delivering fighter jets. The White House insisting both steps risk escalating the conflict into a wider war. But bipartisan lawmakers are urging more military aid.
We need to help get air defense systems to Ukraine without wasting another second.
As peace talks resume today between Russia and Ukraine, the leaders of Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia making the dangerous trip to Ukraine's capital to show their support. Underscoring the risk, 2 American journalists have now been killed near Kyiv and a Fox News reporter injured as a Russian journalist risked her safety to protest the war live on state-run TV. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Let's get a check on weather now with Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland. And Cam, after a foggy morning, it almost felt like spring out there today. Are we in for a nice evening tonight?
We are, Nina. Take a look at that fog from earlier this morning. It was thick. Visibility's down to less than a quarter of a mile at times. But as the morning turned into the afternoon, it was pretty much nothing but blue skies, and all that sunshine has warmed the temperature up very nicely. 45 degrees right now in Green Bay. It's 47 in Wausau. It is 57 in La Crosse, and that is a sign of things to come. So a great evening to head outside and take a walk with that extra hour of PM sunshine that we picked up over the weekend. Temperatures by 7 o'clock will still be mainly in the lower 40s, falling into the 30s later on tonight with some more fog redeveloping. Back to you.
Cam, thank you. Today is National Equal Pay Day. It's a day aimed to raise awareness on wage disparities among men and women across the U.S. Andrea Hagenvik, the Social Justice Program Specialist at the YWCA, says there are 2 different types of pay gaps, controlled and opportunity. She talked about the controlled gap.
If we have a male IT manager in Green Bay with a master's degree versus a female IT manager in Green Bay with a master's degree, right? And that pay gap is really small. Women are making like 98 cents for every dollar that men are making.
As for the opportunity gap, comparing all working men's salaries with all working women's salaries, women make about 82 cents for every dollar a man makes. In the community tonight, there will be a change at the top at St. Norbert College in De Pere. St. Norbert College President Brian Brees is leaving to become the president of both the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University in Minnesota. Former St. Norbert College President Thomas Kunkel will serve as the interim president for 1 year. Do some big Packers news now. Aaron Rodgers has officially signed a new contract that will keep him in Green Bay this year and beyond. Sports Director Brandon Kidder joins us in studio now with a closer look at these details. This is huge, Brandon.
Yeah, Nina, it's a very unique contract that essentially runs for 3 years. Over that time, Rodgers is set to make $150 million, so that average of around $50 million per year that had been reported throughout the offseason. The Packers officially announced the new deal this afternoon with General Manager Brian Gutekunst saying, quote, "We are very pleased to be able to come to an agreement with Aaron that helps keep him in Green Bay. His play on the field and leadership in our locker room remain vital in our pursuit of another Super Bowl title. The agreement also allows us to maintain and enhance what we feel is already a very competitive roster." And quote from Brian Gutekunst, "Here's the year by year of what Rodgers will make, according to NFL Network, $42 million this year, then $59.5 million in 2023, $49.3 million in 2024. On the other side of that, this is what Rodgers will count against the salary cap in each of those years. Just $28.5 million this year. That's down from about $47 million. So some big and important savings there. Then around $31 million in 23 and $41 million in 24. Obviously, those numbers are much smaller than what Rodgers will actually be making. That's really a strategy from the Packers. They push that money down the road into future years. So at some point, you're going to have a situation where Rodgers is on the Packers' payroll, but not actually playing for them. It's a fun game, Nina, but a complicated business sometimes, right?
But at the end, we know we've got Rodgers at least for a while. Exciting news, Brandon. Thank you. Well, Cam, we're going to have your forecast coming up right after the break, and then stay in your lane. We're going to take you to the World Bowling Championship that's right here in Wisconsin. Stay with us.